Hello, everybody.
Hello,
How's
Al.
it going?
Right,
There he
in
is.
true podcast fashion, my tea's not ready yet.
Oh, what you having?
Oh,
Are you microwaving it this time? Because last time you were in
No.
the middle of microwaving it.
It's in the oven. It's going to come out soon. So
Oh,
right,
oven.
I guess you've got to guess what I'm having.
Welcome to the Conquistabores. Tonight, the Conquistabores will feel the summer heat as they enter the darkest boiler room of all time for SummerSlam 1996. Hiding in a dark corner under the pipes tonight, Hillbilly Bill Doyle, the man they call Euan Taylor, the Wild Man Cameron Phillips, and Hot Sauce Geordie Alan Milburn. Only tonight on the Conquistabores.
Can I just say, can we clarify, is it like one thing or is it like several things cooking together?
Things cooking together, yes.
Okay.
Ooh.
I'm going to say,
Go.
I'm going
Go.
to go straight in there. Steak and kidney fried bentos with McCain home fries chips.
No, but you're not a million miles away.
Jesus. That was a great guess. Right. So I'm gonna stay with the Frey Bentos theme. So it's just a regular steak Frey Bentos pie, but it's sweet potato fries.
No, you need to get away from the pie. You need to get away.
Oh,
Right.
Go on,
See,
Cam.
this is the bit where I maybe benefit from some inside knowledge.
oh,
you
come on. You
Right.
went with him shopping today, didn't you?
Al,
Yeah?
have you set foot in Cranston's today?
No.
Oh, it's not then. Oh no.
Get
Oh,
fucked.
Have you set foot in
Take
Cranston's
that.
at any point in the last 3 days?
Yes, but possibly not for what's in the oven.
Oh, is it chicken dippers?
No. I'll tell you what, we'll have one more go around.
Okay,
And then
okay.
Yep.
All right.
So, it's not a pie. We've established that. So I'm going to change to crinkle cut oven fries and turkey drumsticks.
No, can you still get turkey drumsticks?
Yes, you
Yeah.
can.
yes,
Oh, okay. I didn't know you could still get them.
I had Golden Drummers the other month. It was
Ooh,
incredible.
you
They haven't
dirty-
ruined them yet.
But the Matthews.
Yeah.
Oh, I
I
have to
need
get some
to
of those.
You get some of those. Yeah.
I think I've gone from Iceland. I think
No.
they don't seem to care about your health in general, so that's fine.
Well, I don't either, so let's go.
Yeah, Golden Drummers are the shit. Anyway, as far as what you're having tonight, I think you're having some kind of curry with your chips.
No, it's definitely chips. So we've established it's definitely chips.
Definitely.
All right,
chips.
okay, so
I think you're
need to
going
guess-
too elaborate. It's very basic. Then you're going too elaborate. But yes.
No,
Cameron,
basically you've got one of those things. You just like put it in the microwave and that's it. So the fact you put it in the oven actually shows you've put effort into it. So I'm a bit stuck.
So it's chips and something.
yes.
Yeah.
You're not one of these people that has pizza with chips, are you?
From a takeaway, but I wouldn't cook them myself. no.
Yeah. I was going to say. No, I wouldn't have put
What's
you on that.
and what is wrong with
Whoa.
pizza supper, Mr. Phillips?
It shouldn't happen.
Well, it does.
It
No,
does.
It shouldn't happen.
I think you're the one that has a conversation with themselves right now. The rest of us are all fine.
Okay. Is it Toad in the Hole?
God.
You are 50% right.
Oh,
It's just,
so-
is it sausages?
It's sausages.
Sausages and chips.
Oh. If I'd have only
You're
not
right.
put the pancake batter next to it.
Toad and Hole is a
There we
good guess, though. I quite fancy
Right.
Toad and Hole now as well.
So I've got to go down and get out the oven, and then I'll eat it during the thing, and then we can start doing some podcasting probably. I should time my teas better for these
You
things.
really should. I mean, we're only on like episode, 50 something? What are we on now?
I have no idea.
We must be knocking on the door of 60, surely.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be
Oh.
back in 1 minute. Talk amongst.
All right.
Okay. Are we serious? We're not
Well-
going to wait until he's had his fucking dinner.
No, we're not going to wait till have his dinner.
That's the cold open set.
61, that's what we're on.
Well,
There we go.
61.
Yeah.
Wow.
And he still can't sort out his flipping teas.
All it took was a worldwide pandemic to get us up to the last 40 episodes.
You know what? Just looking at the thing he had, episode 69 is going to be a roundtable episode.
Oh my.
Oh, well.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Not quite sure what to
Be an entire episode on Hercules' trunks.
Well,
Nothing sexier in wrestling, is there, boys? Come on.
nothing sexy in wrestling at all. But I mean, yeah. Not sure how to process that information.
Yeah, your brain's just locked up completely, hasn't it?
Yeah.
No comprehension at all.
So while we're waiting on Al to return from the oven, he's not in the oven, just for clarification's sake.
Who knows?
Strange.
Well, we don't know. We could be.
We can't say for definite one way or the other.
Okay.
You get a walk-through fridge. Why not have a walk-through oven?
I can think of a number of reasons. I'm not going to say that. That's terrible. Anyway, moving on. So this month...
Yeah, segue out of that one, Euan. Let's go.
I can do it. This month, talking about the Heat, we're going to feel the Heat as we go to SummerSlam 1996. Get that,
he did it.
Done.
Thank you.
He segged that Wade right out of its boots then, I tell you.
I'm a professional broadcaster. I know what to do.
Brilliant. That's fantastic.
Broadcast journalists, of course we are.
So I believe this was Cameron's, oh fuck, I didn't realise this was my pick.
Yes. I thought I rehearsed this going into work in the car this morning. I was like, Euan's probably going to ask me, why did you pick this show, Cam? And my answer will be the following. I panicked, and this was the first show, for some reason, that came into my head. I feel a little bit like Ray from Ghostbusters when he summons Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. It's the first thing that popped in my head. But yeah, I don't know why. I don't know. I was kind of thinking about the Boiler Room Brawl for some reason, and how, as we'll no doubt note later, it seems that no one in the arena knew what was going on because the arena lacks a big screen at the time. It would seem.
Yeah,
they've set up like 4 CRTVs on either side of the ring for people in the front rows to watch, but no one else can see jack shit.
Kind of failed in that respect. Now, before we go any further, I do need to make a disclaimer.
Okay.
Yep.
In light of recent events regarding a certain individual who will remain nameless, I chose to watch this show in Spanish.
What a good choice of language, Euan.
There we go. Hello, Al.
I like that as a kind of like subtle protest.
Well, I did, but I also put the English subtitles on so I could kind of understand what they were saying, but not actually hear them. So that was my compromise. So
is it the actual commentary at the time being done? See, that's like, I think I said this ages ago, and they had like, I don't think Gorilla Monsoon was doing this, but they would do the commentary for the armed forces.
Yeah.
And Mike Monsoon was doing the commentary. Why isn't that a separate audio track on the network?
Probably because it's got a number of comments in it that are probably not good.
Well, maybe for Monsoon, who knows? But like, I think there's some. It was like Monsoon and Jim Ross were doing the commentary together. It's like, oh man, I'd love to hear that. To see,
it's in Jim Ross's book. I think it's his first one when he talks about when he was pretty convinced that Vince didn't really think he was doing a great job and had that whole kind of like WCW stench about him. So therefore, he got farmed out to like Radio WWF, and Gorilla Monsoon used to sit in the highest possible place in each arena.
They would show them, wouldn't they? Like right up in the rafters.
Just on that point, I think there's a few examples in tonight's show of, as you put, WCW stench.
Oh yes, I think so. I think so.
Yes.
The monsters. They wear many masks in our world. Some are deranged, psychotic beings, unaware of the insanity that festers within. Others are brutal, ruthless assailants, executioners of a sinister plan. The Monster Slayers. They too are varied and unique. Shawn Michaels, the WWF champion, yields 200 pounds to the beast known as Vader. But he counters with guile, superb athleticism, and the courage of a gallant champion. And then there's the Undertaker, the mysterious light in a world of darkness. To exorcise the demon mankind, he cannot rely upon convention. In this cold, unforgiving battleground, he must embrace the horror to defeat it. For the monsters to be abolished, David must slay Goliath. The Reaper must claim another damned soul. But good doesn't always triumph over evil. Sometimes victory eludes heroics. Sometimes the horror lives on. From beautiful, historic Cleveland, Ohio, home of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, majestic Jacobs Field, and the spectacular new Gund Arena, Super-Size Stridex Pads presents WWF SummerSlam.
Yeah, we're at the Gund Arena in Cleveland, Ohio. We have been at the Gund Arena a few times in this show.
We have.
Have we?
No Mercy 99.
Yeah. No Mercy 99 and the Invasion pay-per-view.
Oh, shit, yeah.
Yep.
But not as much as the Joe Louis Arena.
No, I was going to say, not as much as we love the Joe Louis Arena in Detroit.
That's the one, isn't it? That's the one.
That's the one.
Yep.
So, yeah.
That's our baby.
We get a video package hyping HBK, Undertaker, Mankind, and Vader all together. Yep. The usual sort of black and white, here are some heroes, here are some fucking villains. Get it the fuck on. That kind of.
And no, we didn't just get that. We also then got a very brief 20-second tour of Cleveland. Foreshadowing.
We did, yeah. There's as we'll no doubt go into. There's a lot of this pay-per-view that features stuff that really shouldn't be fucking on a pay-per-view.
No.
And if I was to turn around as 43-year-old me and tell 15-year-old me that one day you will be sick of the fucking sight of Sonny. I wouldn't have believed you.
So we finally achieved that goal for you.
Yeah, but I think 43-year-old me is fucking sick of the sight of Sonny.
I mean, it has to happen. It has to happen at some point, I guess.
Yeah. 15-year-old me would have watched her all day, but never mind. Anyway,
I'm glad you said watched. Anyway,
we'll move on from that very quickly.
Yeah, we will.
We need to cover the free for all.
I was going to say, Al, the free-for-all did actually have something noteworthy in it. Not in a good way, though, because, well, the match between Stone Cold Steve Austin and Yokozuna had to end early because Yokozuna broke the fucking rope.
It was an enthralling 1 minute and 53 second match.
Yes, this was
Now, we need some Yokozuna facts coming up here.
Oh, Jesus, here we go.
He was a bit of a mess at this moment in time.
You don't say.
He'd obviously got very large and
Yep.
a little bit mobile. So they put money to put Austin over in, of course, what people in retrospect think is a great moment, Austin pinning this former champion. But in reality, it's a nothing throwaway match on the free show, or the free-for-all show, isn't it? It's like nothing at the time.
Yeah.
Yokozuna would wrestle one more singles match the following night, and then would wrestle his final match at Survivor Series this year.
Well, yeah.
And that would be it.
Yeah.
Bar a tour of South Africa in the middle, but that would be it. The television appearances.
We have covered SummerSlam 93, where he was in the main event, and then 3 years later, here he is, not even on the main card.
Yeah. He enjoyed life a bit too much in those 3 years.
I think because you thought he needed to get heavy to be a guy,
to be to get big, but unfortunately nobody told him he didn't need to get big in that way.
He was already big.
No, he was encouraged to eat lots to look like a sumo wrestler.
Then he just went rogue and just went beyond.
He couldn't stop. It was it become like an addiction. He just couldn't stop. So yeah. It's a bit sad, really. Yeah,
it really is. I'm also sad that footage of the free-for-all doesn't exist because there's an interesting segment that Todd Pettingill presents called the Bikini Beach Blast-Off Party.
Oh, God.
Which had the following guests. Cameron's pal, Sonny, Sable,
of course it is.
Mark Merrow, the Smoking Guns, Marlena, Goldust, T.L. Hopper, Who, Jerry Lawler, the Bushwhackers, Aldo Montoya, Hunter Hearst Helmsley, and Shawn Michaels.
Wait a minute, 1996, and the Bushwhackers are still in WF TV.
Are you surprised?
Greatest tag team champions.
We're not denying that, but I'm just saying 1996.
Seems weird. They could have held on a bit longer. They could have switched back to the Sheepherders gimmick, ready for the Attitude Era.
Oh, that would have been amazing.
Oh, I'd love that.
Yeah. So that Steve Austin match with the rope, Yoko broke the rope, which kind of caused a problem. On November the 4th, 2014, I emailed into the Stone Cold Austin podcast show to ask him about this very question. I said, "Hi Steve, love the show. What I want to know is, was that rope a work or a shoot? Can't find anything for definite. So did the big man from the Orient break the ring for real, or was it a setup?"
Before you say it, it has to be a work. It has to be.
And Steve replied directly to me. He said, "Yokozuna was wonderful to work with. He was a very mellow, cool guy. Before he got real heavy. I loved his work as Coquina Maximus. The ropes were probably gimmicked. ... Thanks for listening, Steve."
It's funny you should say that. I watched the match just before with Cortina Maximus against Sergeant Slaughter. It's on the network, so I watched that before.
Jesus.
Do you know who Yokozuna's manager is for that?
Harvey Whippleman.
The Hamburglar from McDonald's.
Close. The future General Adnan.
Oh no.
Oh my god.
That's aged so well. So Steve couldn't tell us for definite if they were gimmicked, but it's probably they were. Maybe.
Probably,
Probably,
I
yeah.
don't know.
That's it.
I mean, everything in wrestling's fake, so why not the ropes?
No, indeed. Should we go to our opening match then?
I think we should.
Yeah, just to say, your commentary team tonight are JR, Perfect, and Vince, by the way.
Yes, who are, I don't know what this dress code was for the evening. It was like, wear a nice jacket, but some weird like polo neck type thing, but not polo neck type thing.
I don't remember, but you only see them.
Is that perfect?
Is that perfect?
Yeah.
Whatever he's wearing, though, is perfect. Because it's
Well,
Mr.
of
Perfect,
course,
isn't it?
it's the name.
The opening camera shot is great, though, because Vince does say, "A good look at the beautiful Gund Arena," and I'm like, Vince, it's in fucking darkness.
Yeah, well, that's why it's beautiful, because you can't see how shit it is.
Yeah. Well,
Opening match is Savio Vega versus the heroic and hardworking through a really severe injury, Owen Hart.
yep, who still has his Slammy Awards and a cast on his left arm, which comes into
And a massive cast for what's meant to be a broken wrist.
I also loved the fact he's got Slammy winner on his trunks as well.
Yes, I saw that as well. I did apologize.
I love Owen Hart from this period. He's just the best.
I mean, this
Just
is
the
like
absolute best.
2 years since he's like turned heel, and he's still going bloody good on it.
Yeah.
And he's still good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's the beginning where he's like all innocent with the cast. Like, I won't do anything. Then he sneaks up behind Savio like he's the Wile E. Coyote going after the Roadrunner. And the ref has to jump in there to separate them.
He is just brilliant at what he did, and it was just such a shame that he wasn't able to obviously take that forward into the future. But that's by the by. This match was a very fun opener. It was basically centered around will Owen use his cast.
Yeah, Will use the cast, and Savio basically working everything on Owen's arm.
Chekhov's arm cast, basically, isn't it?
We do have a little bit of point from Perfect on commentary here, because he says something lines off. Obviously, the cameras go to the back, and it shows Vader with Cornette. And Vader's lifting weights preparing for the main event tonight. And then it's like, Perfect says, finally, Cornette is going to get the WWF title. And I was like, wait a minute. Yokozuna. But upon discussion with me and Al today, Al made a salient point about that idea.
Uh-huh.
If Alan would like to step in at this moment and say said salient point.
I've got a mouthful. Hang on one second.
Jesus Christ.
Broadcast not his best. Well,
broadcast journalist, here we go.
Technically, Jim Cornette was never Yokozuna's manager. He was his, was it the American spokesperson?
Yeah, he was his representative.
So Mr. Fuji got all the management royalties, you see. So Jim Cornette didn't manage him. Yeah.
Didn't Cornette come in, start coming in with him after he won the belt?
Yeah, he did. He didn't. He wasn't there for WrestleMania 9, even though that was like seconds he was champion.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. I'm not sure was he a King of the Ring.
I don't remember being there King of the Ring. I might be wrong.
No, I think you're right. He was there for SummerSlam, but I don't know if he was there.
He's there for King of the Ring 93, isn't he? Cornette's there for King of the Ring 93.
There's a lot. There isn't. Is it not Hogan punches him before Harvey Whippleman comes on the apron?
You might be right.
Was that Mr. Fuji? Oh, gents, my memories aren't good as they used to be.
I mean, yes.
Vince doesn't pick up at all on Perfect throwing out a SummerSlam 91 reference when he talks about winning defending the Intercontinental title.
That's hardly surprising, but yeah.
Clarence Mason randomly appears in the aisle. He's described as Crush's acting manager.
What a phrase that is. I want that on my business card.
Acting manager of Crush, not the
Yeah.
full-time manager of
No,
Crush. just the
Crush's
acting-
acting manager.
Just
That doesn't get any better than that.
Keeping Crush warm for someone else.
Oh.
Yes. And there's a whole idea of is Clarence moving in on Cornette's clients, which maybe foreshadow. Owen tries to pin Savio with his feet on the rope. There's Vega does a massive roundhouse kick to a running Owen, which looks painful.
Yeah, it didn't look like fun.
Owen is kicked off the turnbuckle. They do a top rope move, but then Savio falls onto Owen's cast.
Oh,
And then, yes. Oh, and then Owen smacks Vega with his cast, applies the sharpshooter, and the ref calls it.
he takes the cap off and hits him with it.
Yeah, he takes the cast off and basically hits him with it, really, and then that's it. Yes, a really decent little opener, I thought.
Absolutely, yeah.
A good start. It's an enjoyable match.
A good start to a very enjoyable show. And then, of course, we get an uninvited guest at the end of this match. We get the appearance of Justin Hawk Bradshaw.
Randomly out of nowhere.
Yeah, I entirely forgot that Bradshaw once had this gimmick.
Oh, with Uncle Zebekiah?
Yes, with Uncle Zebekiah, he was there as well.
Yeah, he just goes over and just shouts to the commentary team for about 5 minutes.
It's a little sort of very small gimmick where he complains he can't get on pay-per-view. So that leads to a match with Savio Vega on pay-per-view.
About, 14 years later, that won't be an issue because he's on every single fucking pay-per-view going. Terrible, but,
But if you're going to complain about not being on pay-per-view, would you necessarily turn up in your gear?
I mean, you never know. I mean, what if somebody gets hurt, like warming
Always
up,
take
and
your
you
gear.
jump in and go, exactly, always take your gear.
Well, imagine if you just insert him into some random point in this pay-per-view. I'd have him instead of Jake Roberts.
Well, yeah. We'll get
just
to
the
that.
King going, Jake Roberts are drunk. Here comes Bradshaw. Clothesline from hell. Done. Bye.
Thank you, good night.
Yeah.
Just to confirm,
Anyway.
I've been doing some very quick broadcast journalism, as in watching something on my phone. Cornette was not there in King of the Ring 93.
There
He
we
was
go.
just accompanied by Mr. Fuji.
Well, I'm reading it. I'm reading it at the precise moment of the finish of the match, but you got there before me.
Yeah. So yes,
There we
Cornette had nothing to do with Yoko getting the belt. It was just his natural skill and determination that did it for him.
I should have known better than to argue with Mr. Perfect, I suppose.
Well, there you go.
Never mind. Todd Pettengill is now in the boiler room.
Oh, yeah.
And
This is,
with his serious voice.
Guys, thank you. Obviously, that was disturbing to see. And you want to talk about disturbing? You want to talk about ominous? This is totally freaky. I am in the boiler room, and this is where the Undertaker and Mankind will do battle.
And this is a sort of common occurrence throughout this show in the build-up to this match in particular. They are trying to make essentially a boiler room, which every large-scale arena would have, into some kind of nightmarish hellscape. And it's like
demonic torture pit.
I mean, they did turn it into something, but unfortunately, when Mankind starts licking the pipes, I think that's the wrong idea they were going for.
Yeah, it's Mankind goes, there's no place like home, and then JR does kind of go, did he just lick a pipe?
I mean, that can be taken in such the wrong context.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
He basically told Taker, don't come in here because what awaits him is a fate worse than death, and I just wrote below that, is he going to lick him too?
Well, he might be getting tips off the bushwhackers who were there earlier on, you see.
Of course.
Oh, I didn't think of that, actually.
Everyone's favourite licking tag team.
Jesus, okay, let's move on quickly.
Match number 2 of the evening is the Four Corners WWF Tag Team title match.
Yes, even in 1996, they were still booking multi-team matches because everyone loves a multi-man match.
We get the 4 team are the New Rockers, which are Jannetty and Leif Cassidy, aka Al Snow, the Body Donners, the Godwins, and the Smoking Guns with, yes, you guessed it, Sonny.
Your pal, Sonny.
My pal, and everyone else's Sonny.
This is pretty much the tag team division of 96 summed up in one.
Yeah, no, this is all they had, really.
It's terrifying, isn't it, to think this is your tag team division?
The question you should be asking is why wasn't it 5 teams? Because we know the Bushwhackers were in the building, so why wasn't it 5? You know, how could you not have the greatest tag team in this match?
Because there's only 4 corners.
Yeah, okay, good point.
It's not TNA. It's not like an 8-corner match.
No.
I think what doesn't help this match is like JR oversells it by saying, "Oh, folks, this is going to be just like a Jackie Chan film." It's like, no, it really isn't. Really isn't.
Why we put the Godwins in the ring? Okay, Jim, whatever you say.
Rumble in the Bronx. This
From like an athleticism standpoint, from an editing standpoint, from a charismatic standpoint, it's not going to be like a Jackie Chan film in any way, shape, or form.
There's none of them, no martial artists or anything. Why would it be a Jackie Chan?
I don't know. It's not even like it's a no DQ match or anything where they're going to get out things. No. It's just like a regular tag match.
I think this is where some of the WCW stank comes into play because JR is like overselling this to like the absolute max. But here's the thing, right? Why? He's doing it on the show. You've already bought the fucking show if you're watching. What are you selling?
Well, you might want a refund.
Good point.
And it's like, but like the guys you got in the ring, God bless them. There's no kind of like snap or like there's no chemistry in this ring. It feels like it's just like a load of guys just doing stuff.
Just see what you think, Phil. That this match was shit.
It was great.
Chris Candido's so injured he can't even tag in.
So why is he there?
He's literally just wheeled out to stand on the apron. Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
doesn't make any sense.
See, Bradshaw could have took his place. That was very selfish.
Yeah.
This does talk about like the most WCW of all the matches on the card. Like this is something WCW do. Well, we got a guy that's injured. We'll send him out anyway. Why not just book a 3-way match? Why not just do that? Why just crowbar in someone who's injured for no good reason?
No, I might have mentioned this, Phil, but you already had the perfect tag team substitute for them in the building.
That's very true.
Really, really trying to ignore them. They do there's kind of a good bit where is it one of the Godwins and one of the Body Donners tags in the other both Smoking Guns, and they kind of they're gonna fight each other.
Yeah, that makes no sense.
They just kind of stand there and just don't do anything, do they?
JR is guilty of hyping up a lot of this match, but the main thing he's guilty of is as soon as Billy and Bart end up tagging it in, he shouts about how they have to make contact, they gotta fight, and then they don't.
Yeah.
They just tag out.
They tag out, and the crowd just goes completely silent. They kill the crowd dead.
Failing, the Guns trying to tag in the Godwins.
They gotta make contact. No gold brick in here. You gotta get after it.
All right, there we go. Zip now.
Is like I don't think I've heard a wrestling arena that quiet apart from like an empty arena match.
Fan. I have a big soft spot for wrestling matches in which the rules are completely unclear to audience, commentary team, and the wrestlers themselves.
I mean, WCW got around that by having like 3 pages of text before the match.
Well, yeah, but this is just—it's
a fine line, isn't it? Either you have no rules and don't explain it, so everyone's confused, or you over explain it and have 4 pages of text. Like there seems to be like no happy middle ground, but it's just like 2 things on screen. No. This happens, that happens, they win. Bang!
As I've always said, if your rules can't fit on one page of on one screen, it's too much.
And then we get like it's kind of like even greater than the Survivor Series thing where it's like suddenly like a clothesline will get you pinned.
Yeah.
And then the Blade Runners go out by being like one of them falls on his face and gets pinned. It's like it's even worse than a Survivor Series thing.
Yeah. Did anyone notice the Vince part in this where Vince describes Jannetty as the former tag partner of HBK Shawn Michaels?
Yes, he does.
And then JR has to kind of go, yeah, but he's been Intercontinental Champion. That gives you some indication on Vince's whole opinion of Marty Jannetty.
Yeah, it wasn't very high, let's say that.
No.
Well, we're like the New Rockers heels or faces in this match.
I don't
Heels. They're always heels.
Were they always heels?
Yeah, always
so
heels.
The Godwins were the only faces in this match?
Yeah. The Smoking Guns are definitely heels.
No,
the Body
Dunners.
They split from Sunny, hadn't they? So
who the hell turned the Body Donners? Are we supposed to sympathise with the Body Donners because Sunny up and left them?
Apparently.
Oh my god.
Yeah, well, it's this match is not very good.
Let's just say that it ends up with the Guns winning.
Yeah, the Guns win. There's a lot of stupid stuff. Sunny ends up like producing some massive photo of herself from the rafters.
Yeah,
because her being there's not enough.
Which seems to block off the view for like 50 odd people.
So Cam, if theoretically I was to buy you that for your birthday, how much of your house would it cover?
That probably Probably all of it. I would imagine.
I thought because you like Sonny so much, I might be able to.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
Although I wasn't quite on the level with JR, who says she needs a trip to the woodshed. I don't know what that means.
I was going to point that out. That much needed trip to the woodshed. Really, JR? Really? I don't know.
Like she's a Jezebel. I get that.
There's no context in which that comes out well. I can't think of any kind of thing.
Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, I need to take this young lady down the woodshed.
Show her some crafts, teach her some whittling. I don't know.
I think I could explain it.
Oh no!
Oh god! Okay, strap in, folks.
No. I think it was JR's phrase. But when you were a little lad, your dad would take you down the woodshed to give you a bit of a spanking. I think that's what it was in the cleanest possible way, and that's what JR was.
So what you're saying is child abuse is okay.
No, I think actually JR was condoning violence against women more than anything. But that's
okay, that's better then.
Point he was getting at, yeah. But that was his point, not my point. We'll get that across.
Yeah.
Let's move past that and let's talk about Cleveland for 10 minutes.
Yes. The charity video I have written here. It's the Cleveland public transport system.
The rapid transit system.
Is this a tourist information thing?
I got off the I went and made a coffee. It came back and it was still going. I'm like, what the hell?
Is this the one with the Godwins on the tram?
On the rapid transit system?
Yeah.
About the best way to get to the Guns Arena is the rapid transit system.
The question is, what's the coolest and fastest way to get to SummerSlam here in Cleveland at the Gund Arena? Well, if you ask the Godwins, they've got the answer.
We're on the rapid transit here, and we're out here to show everybody this is the fastest way through Cleveland, no matter what you're on. And for the Gund Arena for SummerSlam.
I can't wait for Elimination. As we're recording on Elimination Chambers tomorrow, I can't wait to hear about kangaroos and shit tomorrow.
They never get that, did they? You never do that now. You know, they're in as you say, they're going to be in Perth for Elimination Chamber. You're not going to be like
5 minutes from Perth.
Go, well, dingly down, Spot. We sent Austin Theory and Grayson Waller to go kangaroo hopping somewhere out in the outback.
We sent them out for the rapid transit system. Let's go.
Yes. Who can arrive at Perth first? Either the Judgment Day on bikes.
But guys, I did actually manage to get a serious point out of this though.
Oh,
right. Because the whole point of the rapid transit system, is Godwins and the Guns having a race to the Gund Arena, So they're going on the train, Guns are going in the horse and carriage thing, So Godwins get there, right? So they win. Smoking Guns get second. What do the Godwins get when they win? They get a big trophy, They're the champions of the race. Who pinned the Godwins? The Guns. Does that mean that they then win that trophy? And do we have another lineage of a trophy?
The Cleveland Arena Transport
Rapid Transit System trophy.
The Cleveland Steamer Trophy.
So the Guns, does that mean the Guns win that trophy by pinning the Godwins? So now, therefore, they hold that trophy as well as the championship.
Off the top of my head, it's Owen and Bulldog who beat the Godwin, the Guns next for the tag team titles.
No.
We've got a lineage. We've got a lineage.
I forgot about that pay-per-view because Sonny's big picture gets like a moustache and glasses drawn on it.
Yes, it does.
So sorry, Cam, this thing I've ordered for your house is going to have Sonny with moustache and glasses.
Oh, no.
I forgot about
that. This is also the bit where Lawler's talking and arguing with baseball players, and he keeps asking about the spitter. Show me how to do the spitter.
The
what
spitball.
the fuck is that?
I believe...
I think you're
Jesus Christ.
Alan, I'll bleep that whole thing out so you can't hear what he says.
Let's move on before we get ourselves in any more trouble. So we cut to Poetry Slam with
No.
Sid.
Cameron asked a question. A spitball, this is from Wikipedia. A spitball is an illegal baseball pitch in which the ball has been altered by the application of a foreign substance such as saliva or petroleum jelly. This technique alters the wind resistance and weight on one side of the ball, causing it to move in an atypical manner.
Right.
So it's an illegal thing. So there you go.
Is it like rubbing dirt into a ball of cricket?
Yes.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. So because Jerry Lawler's a big cheating bastard, he wants to learn how to cheat at baseball now.
What a wanker.
Yeah. And then they paint a house, and then we get to the next match.
And we get Sonny again. No, but we skipped out one major detail, and I feel that's what you're about to say.
Go on, then. You can do it, Cameron.
The Undertaker gave away a funeral.
What? In full gear.
I mean,
It's like,
that's
what?
the best bit. If he did it in like street clothes, it wouldn't be any fun. But the fact he did it in full gear just makes it
It's going
hysterical.
to be Mark Calloway. He's not going to do anything in street clothes, is he?
He's like in full gimmick.
He's
Congratulations,
so
sir.
good.
You won a funeral from the Undertaker.
That'd be...
Is there a greater prize given in sports than that?
I know
Any
Google's probably not
competition.
going to tell you, but he is the guy that won the funeral. Has he had to make use of this?
Oh my god!
Oh,
Is
I'd
he
have to find
still
out.
with us?
We're gonna
Does
Google
that
him.
still stand?
Does Undertaker turn up at his funeral?
Oh, can
He,
you imagine?
he does the funeral. That's part of the deal.
Well, I mean, the problem is there was another competition they had for the W for a funeral, and sadly, Big Boss Man turned up at that one, and it all went terribly
It went
wrong.
wrong,
went-
didn't it? Yeah.
Pear shaped, didn't it?
Oh, it
Dear
went
God.
horrific.
It went a bit wrong, and then there was something. Anyway,
Ah.
so we cut to Doc Hendrick with Psycho Sid for this month's Poetry Slam competition.
Just going nuts, isn't he?
So Sid just goes insane, as always.
Like yourself, you and I had the subtitles on. And like about halfway through, it just starts saying indistinct. That's all it starts saying on the subtitles.
Is this what I've got on my notes here? Sid's sound levels are all over the place again, and not helping, his music is played over the top.
Yeah, it's because he's psycho. That's what it is. He's all over the place, isn't he?
Tonight, Bulldog, it's my chance to take one more step to the top. For when it's over, in single players, my friend, the people will be standing. And you will see Sid. You are the master. You are the ruler of the world.
Yeah, but I'd like to hear what he said, though.
That's true. But they love him. He comes out and the crowd's all cheering for him. He's all looking at the crowd.
Yeah, because he's massive and fucking insane. They weren't looking for a lot.
It's a great shot. He's like on the apron, kind of like getting the crowd to chant his name. It was brilliant. I was like, Sid's brilliant, isn't he? We got to love him.
It's weird as a face, though.
You think?
It's just really, really weird. Sid just doesn't work for me. He doesn't work as a face at all.
Oh, I think he works as like an edgy, attitudey Steve Austin type face. That's what I think.
Yeah, but the thing is, he's lacking the charisma of Steve Austin.
No, Sid's got loads of charisma. He's just lacking everything else.
Wrestling talent, promo skills. So would you say, like, at this point then, like, Psycho Sid's like the proto Stone Cold? As in, like, the kind of tweener heel everyone's kind of cheering for?
Yeah. By the time he wins the title from Michaels, yeah.
He does, yeah, actually.
But he does like the one knee, when he goes down on one knee with his arms out. It's like, Sid's brilliant. He's the ruler and master of the world.
He's always done that. Yeah, he did that against Hogan, yeah.
Did anybody also spot during this bit the guy with the spray painted Bischoff Sucks t-shirt?
Yeah, I like that.
And it was spelled wrong, so it said Bischoff, Bishoff.
Yes.
Maybe he just prefers Nutella.
Oh!
I believe at one point Vladimir's in the audience.
Oh,
Yes.
yes.
Yeah. He's
Good old Vladimir.
in his
Yeah,
white tank top.
I'm convinced he's an android. He hasn't aged at all.
Was it 26 years later you'll get your own network special or something?
Probably.
You've not watched it. It's on there. You've not watched it?
I haven't watched it.
Yeah, well, it was on there. Yes, he's got his own little thing. I give it a watch.
Is this when we have the question as to how he affords all the money for these shows?
Yes, I think a lot of people do question that, but it's more like he insists he's not a plant from WWE, that they don't pay for his tickets and stuff. But yeah, it's not really touched upon. Maybe he's got a really good job, but I don't think it was touched upon about the documentary either. But there you go.
He's got a really good job that he's hardly at.
Well, because he's at all these pay-per-views, yeah, possibly.
Yeah, he's probably traveling and staying over, I would imagine.
Maybe he works offshore, so he's away for 4 weeks, makes enough money to sustain him for a few months, because he really doesn't do much apart from go to wrestling shows, masturbate, and fall asleep.
Wow. I don't want to think about that. Maybe
he's cleaning the arena.
He's sick of this like Sonny as well.
There you go.
Speaking of things that might arouse you.
Oh no!
Pardon?
Is it a bulldog fact?
Do you know what this match could have been?
Good.
Well, yes.
Zing.
Go on, Al.
Could have been Bulldog against somebody else.
We worked that much out, but can you tell us
Yeah,
who
that
it
makes
was?
sense. Yeah.
It could have been Bulldog against the Warrior.
Oh,
Oh, God.
Oh, no.
I'll take Sid, thanks.
Oh.
Actually, no, I have a way to improve this altogether. This match doesn't exist, and instead you get a promo off between the Warrior and Psycho Sid.
Oh, there's you. Yeah, give me an hour of that,
Can
thanks.
you
I don't
even
know
imagine?
what you guys got against this match. I thought it was all right.
But yeah, it's all right.
It doesn't go on too long. I think if it went on ages, then it would be kind of dull.
This is like Sid's coming out party. This is like Sid's the start of his big push. You know, it's the start of his big push. This is his, but get back to the big time sort of thing.
So what he's done this, and then what he goes against Shawn at Survivor Series.
No, he beats Vader first for the number one contender.
Oh, so he does, yeah.
And then he goes against Shawn, and beats him.
It's Rumble '97. He's in the main.
No,
event.
he gets to beat Bret Hart first at the In Your House, and then it's Rumble.
So he does.
And then he gets to headline WrestleMania.
God bless him.
13. Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, you're right.
My highlights I've got of this match is when there's a point where Sid kind of does a kick out of a pin, and he nearly does a kip up. It looks really cool.
Yeah.
Bulldog does a delayed suplex on Sid, which is pretty impressive.
It's very strong.
And there's a bit where, I think Sid gets chucked out, and then Bulldog does like a cheeky front flip and starts jogging around the ring. I thought that was quite cool.
Yep.
I always love Sid's choke slams. They always look really good.
Oh, they look okay. Have you seen the Bulldog's gutbuster to Sid across the top rope?
Yeah, that's
it looks a little bit like it's down.
I'm actually amazed no one died during that.
That was
like just dropping him.
That's one of the moments the whole crowd goes, ooh.
And Sid brought in, ladies and gentlemen, and
Yeah, I like. It's not quite like when he was in his Hogan hating pomp. He would do like a one-handed choke slam. Like he wouldn't hold the guys back. He would just kind of just yank him in the air, which I think is the superior choke slam. This is good. We get a power bomb. Crowd loves it.
Yeah.
Clarence and Cornette are arguing outside. I mean,
well, Clarence wants to get some of his clients. He's well. I mean, can you blame him? He's only got Crush. I mean, he wants somebody better than that.
Yeah,
so
he's temporary as well. Don't forget.
He's acting manager.
Acting manager as well. Yeah,
it's decent enough. It's not. It doesn't go on too long. It's okay.
Can I give you a Clarence Mason fact?
You certainly can.
He's a real attorney.
He's practicing there now, isn't he?
I don't know if he is, but like they said at the time, I've read some things that he brought a lot to these like silly angles when they'd have contract signings and stuff because he was a real lawyer or solicitor, whatever he was. So yeah, because he had that knowledge, he would make all these angles seem a bit realer with all these spiel and promos on it. It was all genuine that he could say. Yeah.
Wow.
But he was there last episode for the Hogan Andre one.
But he should have been there. Yeah, you're right. He should have been.
Would have made it good.
Oh, on a total unrelated note, actually, just to remind me of Royal Rumble. This has got nothing to do with anything really, but
oh wow, that's good.
Good
podcast content.
I brought a Dino Bravo figure.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Some toy companies like doing like nowadays they do a lot of Hasbro style stuff that were never made.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Dino Bravo never got Hasbro, but they've made a little likeness to him. So I'm very.
Have you got an action figure of Jesse Ventura?
They haven't done a Ventura one yet.
That'd be a good one to get.
But it wouldn't surprise me if they do. There's a lot of stars like Mabel's one that's just signed for a company, but they're not allowed to call him Mabel. So he's called King Nelson.
Oh, okay.
Cool.
Yeah, you go.
Have you got like a little kind of set of weights you could give the Dino Bravo one, and then have a little
possibly, yeah.
Jesse Ventura figure holding up with his finger?
Can you get though a Frenchie Martin one to go with it? And
no, sadly nobody's got Frenchie Martin.
No.
You could pull a little cord on his back, and you could just say lots of French phrases that you can't understand.
There's a Bastien Burger one.
Oh,
nice.
Yep.
On a similarly unrelated subject, I'm pretty sure that game shop I was talking about earlier, they sell toys. I'm fairly sure they've got like a Nails WWF action figure in there.
Oh.
I keep meaning to buy it.
In light of recent events, we can all say that Nails was right.
Yes.
That's a t-shirt. That is a t-shirt right there.
Nails was right.
Yeah.
Everyone's mocked him for saying, you get sexy salt by Vince McMahon. Nails was right.
Nails was right.
So there you go.
Proved right after all these years.
Can we comment after this match, in between these two matches, the very, very, very odd advert that comes up for In Your House?
it's
the aliens
out there.
It's got aliens, and I'm not quite sure why.
Welcome to the World Wrestling Federation in your
Hey guys, what brings you back?
Continued examination of the World Wrestling Federation.
This time we want to assess its influence on Earth Babe. Guys, rule.
This WWF is cool.
Dude. WWF in your house. Friends keep coming back for more.
I'm going to say because of X-Files.
I would say more Independence Day, possibly.
True.
Independence Day was 97, surely.
Oh, no, Independence Day was 96. Men in Black was 97.
Oh, that's what I'm getting confused.
Yeah. But I think like aliens were kind of like all around that kind of... I want to say it's not too far off that alien autopsy stuff.
What, would that be Deck?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Alan, for God's sake. I'll do some more broadcast journalism and see when that came out.
Yeah, okay. It's just weird how it's like, it's just like aliens come down to watch the WWF and seem to, for some bizarre reason, appreciate Ahmed Johnson. And then...
Well, I'll explain that, Cameron. It was the only people that could get the fine to appreciate Ahmed Johnson.
Yeah,
they had to go very far. They had to go very far, but
for some reason, they click their fingers and about 4 different women appear hanging off this teenage lad. And he's like, you guys are like totally tubular cool or something like that, whatever.
Because he's from the 90s kids. Just to confirm, the alien autopsies thing was released in 1995. So aliens and that kind of thing would have been all in the zeitgeist. There you go, there's a word. All in the zeitgeist at the time, so.
Okay.
So someone at WWE could watch that and thought, what do aliens? People like that'll make them watch a wrestling show.
Yeah, it's fine. Obviously, I think X-Files will still be like hitting its stride in '96, won't it? Al's right.
Yeah, because it started in '93. X-Files, I think that would have been like
'94. So you'll be up to like season 3 or 4 of X-Files, which will be
start jumping the shark. But yeah, no clue, and it was weird.
Yeah.
It's
I think that's a fair description. Next up, we get Goldust making his appearance with Marlena. Something to do with Sable. I don't actually know what the hell was going on here. We then get Mark Merrow being interviewed by Todd Pettengill, and apparently Mankind was calling Sable Mommy for some reason. I'm wondering if this is where Ripley got the idea.
Completely missed this bit, and I was like, what the hell? I didn't remember this bit at all.
I think Mick Foley talked about like tagging with Goldust in his podcast. I think because he was calling Goldust Daddy and Marlena was Mummy, and then Uncle Paul, who obviously we'll come to later. So it was like Mankind's weird family thing that was going on.
This is just proof that everything has been done and nothing is new when it comes to wrestling.
Pretty much.
True.
Did he also headline at the beginning about how Goldust's theatrics will apparently blow off an opponent?
Oh, I did not take a note of that, but I'm not surprised.
Wow.
Yeah, so they will blow an opponent off. It's like, okay, maybe we should have phrased that better.
That's not how that phrase goes. It's not how that phrase goes, but never mind.
Never mind.
A couple of things to talk about before the match itself.
Go on.
Okay. Number 1. When did Sable go from being the demure all-American woman who needs to be protected at all costs to being a woman who will whip her top off on Monday Night Raw with handprints over her boobs?
I blame that Sunny. She was a bad influence.
She escalated things.
Well, you say that, but I think it might be because Sunny left, and then she, someone has to take the place essentially as the whore on like Monday Night Raw.
I mean, a few years later we get Naked Midian, so I think this is definitely better than that.
Well, yeah, this is true. But I was like kind of going, oh yeah, when Sable first came in, she was like this kind of prim and proper, like
the Miss Elizabeth replacement.
Yeah, she's like pure as the driven snow kind of thing, and then it's like, the hell happened? There's promises of a new finisher for Mark Merrow, called the Wild Thing, and apparently you'll know it when you see it. So he's not going to use the kiss that don't miss.
Because it always misses, yes. We've clarified
and then
before.
There's a beautiful moment. I had to research this. JR asks Perfect if he's retired. Did anyone catch this bit?
I think I heard it. There's like a really kind of like strange response back from Perfect, isn't there? He's like, no,
there's a really
not your business.
This is like going to go, JR, are you retired, Perfect? None of your business, says Perfect. And then just a little note, Kurt Henning's WCW debut was the June 30th episode of Nitro in 1997. So he's got under a year to go.
Do you want the story for this?
Go on.
Right. Perfect was officially retired with back injury and a payout from Lloyd of London.
Yeah, I was going to say he got the insurance payout, didn't he?
But they did an angle where he pretended to fight Triple H, and it was a ruse, and it turned out Perfect was with Triple H. So they did that angle, and Lloyd of London got wind of it and stopped the payments. And then Perfect was like, no, it was just an angle. I wasn't really going to wrestle. But they're like, nope, you were advertised for a match. You avoided your policy. So Perfect had no choice but to get back in the ring is the only way he was going to make money. But he went to WCW, who gave him a better offer. So that's where he went.
Oh, fair enough.
Didn't DiBiase get some kind of Lloyd's payout as well?
He did as well, yes. I think it was a bit of a fashion. Legion Doom Animal got a bizarre one where he got it and then he was allowed to go back wrestle on the condition he couldn't wrestle a singles match.
I mean, that's probably good from a risk perspective.
So it was a bit of an odd one, that, but I don't know. I'm sure he did end up wrestling singles matches later on in WCW, but yes, at the time he couldn't wrestle a singles match.
That was an unexpected insurance corner. Thank you, Alan.
Yeah,
okay.
There you go.
I wrote down a question here just to say, are we past peak Goldust?
I think we haven't got long left of him.
Yeah, I was going to say, this is definitely on the downturn at this point, but it's not quite at the bottom.
It feels like 95 was his big year, wasn't it? Like the WrestleMania with Piper felt like the kind of
that's
high
only
water
been a
mark.
few months before this.
Yeah, but it goes quick in wrestling, doesn't it? The heat goes quick.
Yeah.
I think you've still got a couple of months.
He's gone from being outwardly gay and fancying Razor Ramon to being bisexual in this.
Well, he's just all about he's trying to get Sable, isn't he? I think in this.
Oh, yeah,
I don't think he doesn't really do his normal kind of theatrics with Mero, as far as I can recall. I feel like he was kind of wasn't like the networks kind of said, "Can you turn it down some, please?" And that kind of took that edge off that character, which I think probably contributed to it not being quite as over with the crowd or like getting that heat from the crowd.
No, it wasn't anywhere near as good as it was.
Yeah, and I also did a double check because I thought surely the natural Dustin Rhodes and Johnny B. Bad had a match at some point, and I don't think they did. I think this is they didn't have a feud or anything in WCW.
The first time they've met, I was going to say it would be the sort of ideal thing of WCW, but I suppose
like heel Johnny B. Bad against the natural would have been like around the same kind of time. Felt like it would have been
sort of 92, 93 time.
Yeah, but no, I couldn't find anything about it. So no.
I've always had a soft spot for Mark Mero. I always thought he's middling in the ring, but he's such an entertaining character.
Yeah, but I think like whenever we see Mark Mero, he seems to have moments where he nearly kills himself trying to move.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Remember the last time we saw him with Johnny B. Bad, he did the sunset flip from the top rope, where he just was an inch away from his head going on the floor.
He almost paralyzed himself.
Yeah, there's a couple of moments here where there's one. Well, we'll come to the well thing in a bit, but there's one towards the where he kind of takes a tumble out of the ring, where he just kind of just drops head first towards the apron and just manages to catch his arm before he smashes his neck to pieces.
Yes.
And it's again, that's another one where the crowd kind of goes, ooh, it's like a big kind of suck of breath from the crowd on it. It's like, it just seems to be able to nearly kill himself in every match I've seen him do so far.
Oh, man, and look at that! Oh! Backdropped all the way on the top to the floor.
And I thought the Wild Man was going to land on his head for a moment.
On the Wild thing, where he does the shooting star press, he nearly does a Lesnar.
Yeah, he's going to say he nearly did the Lesnar's. Yep.
Maybe that's what Lesnar got there doing when I could do that better.
I could do that.
We all know what happened there.
And he Lesnared it straight into the ground.
Have you noticed the other killer thing about that one, though?
What's that?
It doesn't finish the match.
No,
it doesn't finish the match.
For being a hyped up new finishing move, it doesn't finish the match.
What a great way to debut a finishing move,
Yep, exactly.
By not having it finished.
Again, Foley talked about how Mero came in on a guaranteed contract, and it was quite a big deal and stuff. And it felt like there was going to be a big push behind him, but he never really got that far, did he? He never really got his kind of a good feud going, or never good his character was always a bit vague, and his music is terrible for a face.
Yeah.
It feels like somebody from what Vince thinks a face character from 91 is supposed to be like.
Yes, but again, are we blaming the WCW stank here?
Oh, that's the point.
Yes, that's what I thought. Mero,
I think Izzy got that hanging over him. Let's not forget the nail in Mero's kind of main coffin, I think, was the fact that after a couple of years after this, Stone Cold turns him down for a program.
Yeah, that's true.
Because it's just after he let Sable powerbomb him. And he says that...
Mankind also didn't want to work with him either.
Yeah. So there was a couple of big high-profile wrestlers that said no to wrestling Mark Mero.
Yeah.
Which, rightly or wrongly, that probably sank him.
Do you want to know why Foley wouldn't wrestle him?
Go on.
Quite
Does
funny.
he let him lick him?
Because they signed roughly at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And Mero was the first guaranteed contract WWE ever did.
Oh.
So let's just say he had far better negotiating skills than Mick Foley. So Mick Foley held a bit of a grudge for that Mero had the better contract, yeah.
Him and Stone Cold run like the kind of standard. You get paid for like 5 matches a year or something.
Yeah.
Or one match, like $300 is like that's what your kind of contract is, and everything else kind of gets put on top.
If you're injured, you get fuck all.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get nothing. Good day, sir.
You get nothing. Good day. Yeah. Oh well. This is technically sound, this match, but nothing amazing.
It's a bit. I remember it at the time. It was like a last-minute shoehorn thing in, like a week before, like just to fill the card up. It had no build or anything for it. It just appeared. Yeah.
Yeah. Goldust wins after curtain call for 3. By the way, I've got down here. Thank you. Just to fill it in. I'll just put, why is Sable even here if her safety is that threatened by Mankind?
That always kind of makes no sense.
It's like, why are you bringing her here?
She was scared, but she also found it kind of hot at the same time, so didn't want to ruin her fun. I don't know.
Yeah,
are you referring to Goldust outfit, which is riding really far up this time?
I did not enjoy that personally, but whatever gets you off, Phil.
I'm not sure what the camel toe with the bum's called, but it was certainly on display on a few occasions, that suit.
Camel toe. That sounds like some terrible cover band.
Camel toe with the bum.
Camel toe up the butt.
Nice.
Speaking of camel toes, let's talk about Ahmed Johnson.
Because they're about to. Yeah. Apparently he ruptured his kidney and he nearly died.
Like fun.
Well, this is the whole thing with Ron Simmons, isn't it?
What? No, this is Ahmed Johnson, first of all. They spent 10 minutes going through his bloody medical.
Oh, yeah, but it's like the Mark Henry came out a while ago saying it was Ron Simmons who smashed him in the kidney, and that's what caused his injury. That's what caused
yeah. Right, okay, yeah. That was.
But I don't know how verified that is, because they say because the way that Henry tells is that Ahmed injured Simmons, put him out on the shelf for 9 months, and then Ron came back and just basically masked him and put him out for for his injury. But from everything I could read about, there's no period where Ron Simmons goes out for a long period injury, because when he debuts and attacks Euan, Ahmed Johnson, and does the kicking in the kidney, and that's the thing that kind of they use in the storyline wise as why he can't, why he's out for that period.
I'm pretty sure he just gets over enthusiastic and does injure him on his first meeting.
Yeah, because there's a lot of people backstage don't like him because he's a bit too rough and not that well trained, so he's injuring people left, right, and centre. There's supposed to be a confrontation with him and D'Lo Brown as well, where he says something about, I think he mouths off to Triple H and D'Lo says no, you're not doing that, and then him and Ahmed have a big fight. That happens backstage. But it just sounds like this is that kind of period where Ahmed Johnson was crazy over for a period, and then he has this, and then it never really kind of gets back up to that level again. He's just kind of
but it felt like it was only for literally 3 months he was on top for, and then that was it. He was it
was crazy, wasn't it?
The biggest hope going, and then just suddenly just dropped.
Yeah. I
just always remember, whenever I hear Ahmed Johnson, I just remember playing Warzone on the PlayStation 1 and his promo in that game. Just was it sounds like it's been recorded down a mine. And then it's just I'm going to hit you. Where do you go? I don't know. A fool. And then it's what?
That's his entire legacy there.
Get ready for what that stupid little grin off the face, because it's time to meet the real superstar of WWF. And I'm going to beat you, and no one going to come save your sorry carcass. Just make sure you got plenty of insurance, punk.
That's it, yeah. His entire legacy is a piece of very fuzzy full motion video in a PlayStation 1 game.
Speaking of legacies, this is the I'm skipping over the Jake Roberts, Jerry Lawler thing because the whole thing's just
it's stupid.
Yeah, it's dumb. So we get introduced to a gentleman that we get to know very well over the coming years in the form of the world's strongest man, Mark Henry.
Have we spoken about Ron Simmons yet? And Farouk Assad?
The modern day gladiator.
I've skipped his promo with Sonny again.
I seem to forget who's his manager. Cameron actually does seem to forget.
That'll be Sonny again.
See, I skipped that just to save you from having to have another Sunny
I know, well,
experience. But if you want to go
for purely journalistic integrity, we have to go through with it. Yeah.
All right. Okay.
This is. Okay. I mean, we've spoken a little bit about WCW skank. Whoa, holy moly! I mean, this is Ron Simmons, who became the first Black WCW champion.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Is that right? When he beat Vader. So this is a guy with like history on his side. But no, come to the WWF, appear on pay-per-view television in a tatty blue helmet as, and I will quote here, Sonny's special little modern day gladiator, which makes him sound like he should be in kindergarten. It's awful.
It's not the best look, is it?
No.
Like I said, he's a WCW. He's a WCW guy, so they've got to try and put their own WWF spin on it. And if these guys could just survive, like, you've seen it before, Austin, Rock, whatever. Actually, Rock wasn't. It was just a terrible gimmick from somewhere else. But yeah. If you can survive your terrible initiation crap gimmick, you might get somewhere in the company.
Yep.
Like, wasn't one of the reasons why Ric Flair left WCW was because they were going to dress up like a gladiator, weren't they?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, that would be fucking hysterical.
Jim heard an idea that he was going to be like Spartacus.
And then Farouk comes in as a gladiator. What's all that about?
Yes.
I think that's called plagiarism.
Did somebody hear that and go, you know what? That'll be a really good idea.
Yep.
Well, they're gonna have Ric Flair as Spartacus, and then Sting went, "No, I'm Spartacus," and then Vader went, "I'm Spartacus." No,
my God.
Say. Did you spot who the ref was for this match?
I did not.
Harvey Whippleman.
Oh, for God's sake.
I was like, oh, that's Harvey Whippleman. What's he doing ref in a match? What's going on there?
Well,
obviously, this was a very bad taste storyline.
Obviously.
Awful.
Because just to skip past it, obviously, Jake the State Roberts had his demons, and he used the Bible to help beat them. However, Jerry Lawler was determined that he couldn't forget about these demons and mocked them at every opportunity of his alcoholism. Well, the other thing is a bit sort of thing about this match is Jerry Lawler obviously pokes a lot of fun of him and falling off the wagon and everything. But the sad truth is, at this moment in time, he had fell off the wagon.
I was going to say, like, this is we're a year from filming, maybe 2 years from Behind the Ring.
Yeah, I think in this case,
beyond the map, yeah.
The wagon is he's fallen off the wagon. The wagon is driven away. The wagon is gone.
Yeah.
So remember the new generation. Here we have two quite old gentlemen fighting.
That's a very good point. That's a very good point.
It's like Lawler spent like a whole show a couple months ago doing that really awkward shit with the Ultimate Warrior, and smashing picture frames over his fucking head and all this kind of stuff. And then, like, he's doing this, like, a month later with Jake Roberts. Seems to be that Lawler's just, like, the guy that you call if you need to, like, shan up some old, like wrestler and then stretch out what should be a 2-minute match into, like, 10.
Half an hour. It feels like half an hour.
The glorious bit here is the fact you have Vince on commentary whenever, like, Jerry Lawler's pouring the Jim Beam into, like, into Jake the Snake's face. You've got Vince going, "That's raw booze," as opposed to cooked booze. I don't know what.
Yeah, raw booze.
Vegan booze.
I prefer my booze medium rare, to be honest.
Yeah.
Is this the one where Jake brings it out? When Lawler brings it out in the snake style bag.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a bottle of champagne in the bag.
Yeah.
Yes. And another story is that Jake Roberts was not happy because the stuff he was getting poured on him was real booze.
Oh yeah,
that's not ideal, is it?
It doesn't surprise me.
And Jake was like, "Why can't we just use something that looked like booze? Why did it have to be real booze?" But yes,
it could have been tea.
Yeah, that's what he's getting in him. He's getting booze.
Mm-hmm.
So I wrote nothing about this match because I just refused to give it.
It's not even really a match. It's more of a really awkward segment that really doesn't fucking need to be there.
Best thing about it is that we get to hear the best Jake the Snake music. That's it.
Yeah,
correct.
Jake the Snake's last WWF appearance would be the '97 Royal Rumble, by the way.
I think he made one more on the fantastic Shotgun Saturday Night.
He did.
But that was his last pay-per-view. Yes, he did. He did one last.
He's not long to go for being.
No, he was coming a little bit of a liability at this moment in time.
Then he would have his whole career in Mexico, which apparently gave rise to the whole story about how you don't let any hookers give you a blowjob in Mexico because there's someone basically creeps up behind you and smashes you over the head and then robs you.
I mean, it sounds very much like Mexico, not making stereotypes, but it's kind of the thing they would do.
Yeah, so apparently that's where Jake Roberts learned that. I don't know if he learned it the hard way.
Well, never mind. I'm not going to make that joke. Anywho,
sure sounds like it.
Mike wrapped up this match. So yes, obviously it was the whole point of it was to forward the next feud, which would be Jerry Lawler against Mark Henry.
Mm-hmm.
I just felt I wrote this. I had to read this golden quote by Mark Henry's commentary.
Okay.
Because Lawler does all these jokes and stuff. So Mark Henry's very bitter line was, "Somebody better shut him up. Somebody, someday, maybe." I read that again. Yeah, somebody better shut him up. Someday, maybe. Like, whoa, what?
Selling that feud, isn't he?
Pillar
Pushing that
like
feud.
Pillar lines like that ignited that.
Listen,
feud,
right. Well, I think we can all agree Mark Henry took about a good 5 years, maybe longer before he got going. But when that man put on that salmon jacket and walked to the ring, that was one of the greatest promos of all time. That whole thing there. It took him a long time to get to the mountain, but he made it to the top. But like what we see here is it's a very, not even a raw diamond. It's still coal waiting to be crushed into a diamond. But yeah.
Also, he's come a long way from doing that kind of promo and that quotation to now confidently beaming on every episode of Rampage to say, "It's time for the main event."
Right, I'll finish off by quickly wrapping up this Jerry Lawler, Jake Roberts. Excellent. We do get a little bit of a I think it's either Raw the next night or the next week. We do get a little bit of a closure for a rematch. Jerry Lawler's in the ring, and Jake Roberts drunkenly stumbles down the aisle for his match. So drunk Jake gets in the ring all woozy and staggery and everything like that. And then he would DDT Jerry Lawler, pin him within about 4 seconds, and that was Jake winning the feud. Because he wasn't really drunk, you see. It was all just a ruse. All just a ruse. There you go.
You never trust a snake.
Is that like when you're queuing outside the Warwick, Al?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Up next is... Now, Right, so it's the Boiler Room Brawl coming up next. Mankind, Undertaker. So the way to win the Boiler Room Brawl is to... let me get this straight. To leave the Boiler Room and get to the ring.
Yeah.
And claim the urn. You got to claim the urn. You got to claim possession of the urn.
Claim the urn. Isn't that what Spooky Toss is in the promo?
But why have the match in a Boiler Room where you're just going to end up in the ring anyway?
Because you have
Euan, it's not about the destination, it's about the journey.
Yes.
Fuck off.
That's true.
Sure, why not?
Quick question before we get going.
Uh-huh.
We've all got favourite belt designs and favourite, the old IC belt is the best intercontinental belt and all that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Which urn do you prefer? This one with the handles or the normal plain one?
The plain one.
I prefer the giant one he had after. Was it after the Undertaker versus Undertaker thing? You had like a massive one.
That's true. Yeah, the huge one, didn't he?
Light in the middle of it. Yeah.
Oh, that's probably in the ranking to the urns. That is probably top. You are probably right there, to be honest. Glad we could clarify that. We can move on.
Is this, gentlemen, I propose to you, is this the first example of a cinematic match?
I wrote that in my notes. I wrote the exact same thing, Cameron.
I mean, I suppose you've had like the Hollywood Backlot Brawl at WrestleMania.
To me, that was the first one. Yeah, the Backlot Brawl was the first one.
Yeah.
But, for all we talk about the COVID things and the Boneyard matches and, the Firefly Funhouse matches, I was watching this kind of going, this is weirdly almost kind of like that.
It is. I think the Boneyard match was maybe the spiritual successor to this.
Yeah.
Because I think what kind of does it is like it starts off with Taker coming down to the door, and then they cut inside, and that feels like that's the point. I think after that, it's all one shot of them in the boiler room.
Yeah.
But that's like kind of like you kind of cut in between cameras, which is a bit, which is always kind of makes it feel more like a cinematic thing rather than just like some dude with a camera kind of running down there.
No,
even though I think Vince kind of say, "Oh, I wouldn't like to be the cameraman pick for this match," and it's like, well, I guess that makes sense. But then, like, I think what kind of really kind of makes it even weirder is like the fact there's hardly any commentary over it. Like
there's
the
none.
whole bit in the boiler room, there's none, is there? There's a few
Well, I
kind
think
of
it
gasps.
goes. Does it not go at one point? Like it's supposed to be, and then it's they get cut off.
Yeah, you get
Something
Vince
like that.
going transmission difficulties.
Well, yeah, but the picture goes, the whole thing kind of gets like static out, so you kind of see like Mankind slamming Undertaker, but you kind of see him halfway through and stuff. But like most of it, they're just like here, like Gerald just kind of go, they're just kind of mumbling things under the breath. There's no commentary for the whole stretch of it, which is like gives it a kind of weird, unsettling vibe.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's a bit like sort of like something's gone wrong technically, and this is like the result.
Yeah, we're just watching two dudes just kind of like smashing up this room and making like. Some guy's got to clean this up tomorrow. There's like bins and pallets everywhere. Some guy's got to come in and go. He's like, "Who's messing up the workspace? What's going on here?"
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
There's the bit where Mankind manages to elbow drop Undertaker off the boiler onto the concrete floor, and Foley just lands full force on his hip.
It looked very painful.
And you wonder,
it didn't look like fun.
Yeah, this is probably why you needed like hip replacements, Mick.
Well, because he did that elbow for like off the apron for years, didn't he?
Yeah.
That was like his big move was doing that off the. So like one's probably all right, but when you're doing it like every other week or every other night, it's like it's just not going to work for you after a while, is it?
Exactly. But I mean, Taker's really selling this stuff for being a guy who is, the origins of his character were basically to no sell everything. He's really selling this stuff.
Well, this is the thing, isn't it? I think this is the thing that rescued the Undertaker from being like the dude who fights El Gigante.
Yes.
Yeah, this was the year where he showed better, like more of a character and wrestling skills and stuff. Yeah,
because like the last 2 years, his feuds have been what, like Undertaker versus Faker Taker, and then
he's had Mabel, he's had Karma, he's had King Kong Bundy, IRS, Yokozuna. You're right. Giant Gonzalez.
They just seem to kind of want to get big guys who haven't
Mr.
really got any
Hughes,
skills up against him. It doesn't help him at all, does it? But then this seems to be the thing that kind of really.
Let's not forget Kamala.
Kamala,
God, yeah.
He was selling being scared of the caskets, but yeah.
But this is the point where it's like this. I think really reinvigorates his character and kind of like jumpstarts him into the kind of next few years, doesn't it? This kind of whole period with Foley going around with him.
When you think about it, next year, a year's time, he'll be in the main event against Bret Hart, and he'll have probably a really cool technical match with Bret.
Yeah.
So this is probably the start of like, Mark Calloway can actually fucking wrestle.
He's really good, isn't he? And I think that's selling, but also like all that selling kind of really puts Mankind over as well, doesn't it? Because it's Undertaker, and he's actually hurting him. What's going on?
I mean, I think like, and I've written down here, we need to talk about how Mick Foley brought out the best in the Undertaker character.
He brought out the best in anyone he worked with because he's such a sympathetic character that even if he is the heel de facto in the match, you can still get behind him because albeit while he's a monster and blah blah blah, he comes across as still human, if that makes any sense.
He looks like a guy. He looks like
that's it.
You can like really relate to him as like his physicality is like that looks like just like a guy from the arena who's like trying to jump on the Undertaker. Like I think he's not the kind of he's probably like a big, dude because he's a wrestler, but he's not like a Hulk Hogan kind of statuesque, or Lex Luger with the calves and whatever. You know what I mean? He's just like a guy, and I think that really helps.
I mean, there's probably a lot of truth to that, actually. You're right, because he's not some sort of like chiseled Adonis. He is just like
he's
Foley
Mankind. He represents all of us.
Yeah, but he's like Foley also played like the character Mankind, which at this stage was still lives in a boiler room, blah 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 blah.
Talks to the rats,
talk to the rocks back and forth, talk to the rats, with the piano music and all this kind of stuff. But he also later on transitioned seamlessly, still as Mankind, into he used to hitchhike to the arena, and he remembers watching Jimmy Snuka frog splash off the cage.
Can I just add a fact in? Yeah,
Sure.
Go on, Al.
that may be one of the most iconic moments that we see all the time. Do you know that didn't even happen in the bloody match? That happened after the match.
Oh well.
Yes. Morocco won, and that was just Snooker doing something at the end of the match.
That
There
was
you
just
go.
coked out Snooker. Just, you know what? I'm going to fucking jump off this thing. Why are you doing that, Snooker? I don't know.
Again, that sums up Mick Foley's like career, because like he's like his career is kind of like defined by that Snooker moment, which is something that doesn't happen to win a match. He just does it to please the crowd.
Yeah.
And like you can like, I think Modi he calls himself on his podcast is like when it was so good, like Mr. In Your House, and never has anybody given so much for when so little matters. Like it's always like the big like all these moments are on the In Your House pay-per-views or something. Not the big WrestleMania things. It's like it makes sense that his kind of defining moment would be like based off that Snooker moment, because it happens after a match and it's kind of pointless. A lot of what Mick Foley does really is like after matches and it's kind of pointless, but it's amazing because
it's not even the move. Half the time, it's not even the moves that he does. It's his emotions. It's his selling.
His reaction to it.
Yeah, it's his reaction to. I mean, case in point, the street fight at the Royal Rumble. He's the one that brings out the tax, but the moment he gets driven into them, you feel bad for him, and it's like, well, you really shouldn't feel bad because you brought it out. So
yeah,
you eat shit, but at the same time, that's you sort of forget about that for a moment. You get caught up in the whole idea of that's a guy getting driven in tax face first. That probably doesn't feel great, and you could almost like relate to it in a way. I know it sounds really stupid, but
no. I know what you mean.
No. That match has always stuck with me, not just because it's a great match, but just Foley's performance in it is just incredible.
Probably Foley's greatest thing was his ability to emotionally connect with the audience, no matter how he was,
Absolutely.
especially like probably like refine that most at ECW with his the Dewey promos and that sort of thing. But then like once he's kind of let off the leash a bit in WWE, he kind of like that connection he forges with an audience kind of I think drives half of his matches. And it's not saying in a bad way. It's definitely a good thing because it kind of brings everybody into that, and it helps bring them into whoever he's against in the ring as well. So all that from a boiler. Look at that.
Yeah, I know. I mean, but you're saying there about he did the Kane Dewey promo in ECW as Cactus Jack.
Yep.
A wild killer of a man. Blah 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 blah. But this was him also admitting that he was disgusted by some fan. Basically saying, "Oh yeah, I want to beat up your son." By the way, who was 4 at the time or something like that.
Yeah.
And it was just like, I mean, that is Foley has this amazing ability to kind of like still portray his character and still be true to his character, but also have little shining moments of being Mick Foley within that character and it working for some reason.
It's also relatable as well. If you found out that some people were like, "Oh, I should go beat up your son," for example, we'd be like, "Well, fuck off! No, what the hell is that about?"
Exactly.
Why are you targeting my family, you absolute cunt? So,
there you go. There's a pop for a fire extinguisher in this.
Yeah,
I mean, is
the
fire extinguisher of 1996's table?
Probably, maybe.
I think some light tubes as well, don't we? I think Foley goes through some light tubes. I'm sure he said that the Undertaker gets like the glass got into the Undertaker's arm and gave him like an infection or something.
That would not surprise me.
Yeah. I love the fact that the ref has fallen asleep outside the door.
Of course he is. Like he's just having a nice chill.
He wakes up like
Yeah.
But doesn't the door say like boiler room, danger of death or something?
It does. Yeah. They've got to town on that.
And that's not because it's a boiler room. It's because Mankind's in there, guys. Am I right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. There's a. They're back in the arena, as we said at the start. There's 4 massive CRT TVs that are.
What about the bit in the corridor where they're like spilling coffee and stuff?
Yeah, the scalding hot coffee.
Scalding hot coffee.
Yes. Bradshaw in the corridor. There's a couple of wrestlers watching them as the
Stone Cold comes out.
There's Bradshaw and there's Steve Austin.
Goldust comes out at one point. You see him like with his makeup. Yeah. He's still got his makeup on. God bless him.
He has. And we get back to the ring, and then the Taker looks like he's won the match because he's Paul Bear's in the middle of the ring with Euan.
That's the point. You've got to get the urn. He's got the urn. Match over.
Paul Bearer pulls the urn away, and then Mankind, Mandible Claws, Undertaker. Paul Bearer laughs, and then he hands the urn to Mankind, and Mankind wins. And Paul Bearer is leaving behind 6 years of a legacy, which seems like 6 years seems like such a short time when the Undertaker character would have a career of like 30.
Doesn't make any sense, does it? I do feel like though, like it would have worked better if Bearer like smacked him straight away with the urn.
Yeah,
because it feels like this, like the crowd don't really react until like they start beating Undertaker up, they start smashing with the urn and stuff. Like that's when the crowd start kind of like, oh wait, he's a naughty young Paul Bearer now. And they start booing him. I feel like if he just led with that, it probably would have got the crowd going, getting them into it a bit quicker.
It's the classic subtlety hammer that WWE love. That they'll go, hey, look, he's going to do a thing. He's going to do a thing. Hey, look, he's going to do it in a minute. Look, he's going to do it. It's like, yeah, let's just fucking do it so we can see it. We know what's going to come. So
because obviously with the TVs, we know there's no kind of like big screen at the top showing a close up of Paul Bearer's face laughing. So probably half the crowd can't see that, so they're confused. Whereas if like Undertaker reaches out, Paul Bearer kind of raises the urn up like he does normally, and then just drops it on his bonce.
That would work.
That probably would have got the crowd like into it a bit quicker. Then you do the mandible claw and all that kind of stuff, and then you're off to the races with Mankind and Uncle Paul.
Exactly.
That was good. I mean, it's a good old boiler room brawl.
Yeah,
like it's decent. It's something a little bit different. It's maybe just a tad too long. It's not the most exciting thing ever.
Yeah,
because like the boiler room is basically like they kind of go to the end and then back out of the room, don't they? Like there's no kind of like it's like a scroll and beat 'em up. You just kind of go along one plane to the end.
It's not like
kind of turn around and go back out again.
It's kind of like Nidhogg.
Ooh, I like it.
Nidhogg's good, man. Yeah, only with like less throwing of swords.
It's a good game as well. Nidhogg kids, get into it.
It's probably the only game that got a sequel that no one gave a fuck about.
True. I've got it somewhere.
Too, ever. I've still played Nidhogg, never played the second one. Anyway, by the by,
it's main event time.
It's time for the main event, Mark.
Oh, do we just want to mention that Undertaker gets carried out by a load of druid lads?
Druids. I forgot about the druids. Yeah, these traditional sort of
it's like a bomb, lights out, he goes out. So when he comes back, is this where he's got like his full black gear?
Yes.
Yes.
Because he's still got his kind of purple to kind of differentiate him from the Undertaker, hasn't he?
Yes.
Because the fake Undertaker had grey boots and gloves, but when he came back, he had purple, so you knew he was the real one.
Yeah.
And then he comes back in his kind of gothed up gear.
Yeah. I mean, this is getting into the Ministry Taker years.
Is that with like Cameron's favourite theme song?
Best theme song.
So our main event of the evening for the WWF Championship is the champion Shawn Michaels defending against Vader.
The man they call Vader.
Yes.
What I quite enjoyed about Vader coming out, even though he's not wearing his helmet, which is always disappointing, but he just like starts smashing. He just starts smashing the steps up for fun.
Vader's just a brilliant character because it's this wild man, but he can go in the ring. When it's time to go, it's time to go. He's not just this big man who's just like, I throw arms. Vader is here to fuck you up and just take whatever's yours.
Yeah, some of those punches you throw to the beginning look real kind of the way.
Yeah, they're real kind of snug.
The way obviously Michaels is selling them, at least at the beginning, it's like, oh yeah, this is gonna be a rough one.
Quick question, guys. Who is it about on the subject of wrestling Vader? And Al already knows the answer to this because I asked him today. Who said, and I quote, "Wrestling Vader was like wrestling a cement truck full of barf."
That's quite a quote.
Was it Ric Flair?
No.
Let me think. I'm trying to think who Vader wrestled.
That's what I was doing, yeah.
Was it Stone Cold?
No.
Was it Sting?
No.
Go on.
Was it Foley?
No.
Nah, go on, Cam. Who was it?
It was Bret Hart.
But of course.
On account that apparently Vader was not renowned for keeping his gear clean.
Oh, right, okay.
A
bit of stank then.
He absolutely fucking reeked, apparently. So yeah, nice guy, but apparently honking.
Like,
nice guy, not so good hygiene.
No,
that mask isn't. It looks like that mask could do with a few goes in the washing machine. You know,
pretty much.
It does look it could do with a few, a bit of fabric conditioner on it.
But yeah, we got one lassie tries to jump the barrier at the start of the
She
match.
does, doesn't she? Yeah.
It's weird.
What is that about?
I don't know.
And then like no one comes out to stop her, do they? He's like posing with her for a selfie. It's like, okay, cool, fair enough.
Yep, that's it.
I also noted that this was Michaels coming out was described as being one of the most electric moments in sports entertainment.
Ugh.
Yeah.
I guess they'll be reusing that catchphrase in a few years' time.
Possibly.
Just a few times.
Dre Lawler's backstage think I'm going to write that one down. We might come back to that.
Possibly. There's a moment here where Vader catches HBK and just literally just powerbomb.
I thought he killed him.
Rope. Yeah, that was nearly. It looks rough. It looks really rough.
It's not a fun landing.
Which I think if you were having a little sort of video game style meter for Shawn Michaels' pissed offness throughout this entire match,
the pissed off meter,
going. Yeah, the valve's coming off, as we'll see a little bit later.
Well, I guess we should talk about this. This is that match. This is that match.
Yes.
Yeah.
Where I think it can be described as Shawn Michaels is quite petulant during certain parts of the match.
That's a way of putting it. Yeah.
Perceived slights or botches during the course of the match, which I don't know if you ever had kind of confirmation, like Shawn apologized for that. Is there anything like
probably one of those usual things of like kind of going, he's found God, so everyone thinks he's great now.
I was literally about to say that.
Yeah, and it's just like the biggest moment, and I watched it back, and I was like, this doesn't seem to be Vader's fault because it's like Vader's on the floor. Shawn gets up to the top rope. Shawn comes down in like a kind of stomp kind of motion on the top rope, but then he's too far away. Vader's too far away, so Shawn just kind of has to land on his feet and then just kick like Vader in the side of the head.
Because that's the thing, the kind of iconic moment, isn't it, where he's like really kind of angry and he starts booting him. But like, if Vader was supposed to move, surely Michaels would still be doing a splash.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, he shouts "move" at him when he kicks him. Yeah.
Oh God! Yes, that infamous spot. I think this is at the point where the valve is gone. At this point, Michaels has had enough of getting waffled. I think.
Yeah,
I think it's fair to say this is again. This is like petulant Shawn Michaels, where it's like he's starting to believe his own.
Again, in Vader's defense, does he not do the elbow spot like 3 times? Like Vader probably can't remember which one he's supposed to move on.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
but it feels like there's a better way of getting it out of it in the ring rather than just like getting angry at your opponent.
Oh, he's done that loads, man, now, hasn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, yes, but I mean, this particular incarnation of Shawn Michaels was not known for his patience and understanding.
Yeah, exactly.
No, because he was completely high as a kite most of the time.
Well, that too. Yeah, he was a space cadet for sure.
This is a man who will dislocate. What was it? He ruptured 2 discs in his back in the casket match in the Rumble '98. But didn't notice until the next day.
Yeah, it's
you have to be off your welt on painkillers.
Oh God, yeah, you are completely out of your tits.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that was just I find it unbelievable how that happened, and it takes him till the next morning when he can't get out of bed in a hotel room to notice.
Yeah, that's kind of a clue. But I will say, after a good bit of back and forth, the spectacle ends with everyone's favourite finish of a count out.
Yeah.
Well, there's about 3 endings, to be fair.
Vader wins via count out.
Yeah.
But then they decide he doesn't win the title, so he wants the match to restart.
Cornette's not
there.
Happy, yeah.
And then Michaels gets Cornette's tennis racket and then gets disqualified. But Vader doesn't win the title. So let's restart the match again.
Yep.
Yep, overbooking 101. This finish is just overbooking 101.
And then we get a bit where I believe Michaels hits switch-in music for the surprise kick-out.
Yeah, it doesn't end it. I was going to say, switch-in music doesn't end it. HBK kicks out of a powerbomb, and then Vader misses. I think Vader misses a Vader bomb after that, and then HBK...
It's a big moonsault. He goes
moonsault for the win. And that's it.
Vader goes 1 step up and hits his... Well, doesn't hit his moonsault, but he attempts a moonsault.
It's a decent enough match.
It could have done without the bits in the middle, but yes.
I
hate the thing of the restart thing. So stupid.
Yeah,
it's a stupid trope that I hate.
Very rarely comes off as being like, maybe the kind of 5 more minutes at the end of an Iron Man match kind of works, but restarting an actual match.
Don't you let Bret Hart hear you say that.
No.
That is true.
I mean, don't let Bret Hart or John and Gargano hear that, because he'll cry and say because it's cinema, you fucking overrated dick. Anyway,
Hangman and Swerve Strickland at one AEW, and then Swerve Strickland's like 5 more minutes, and Hangman just goes,
Oh,
No,
I love that.
walks
Hangman
out.
just goes, fuck off. He just leaves. It's like, yes. I was actively cheating, going, yes, finally, someone did it.
He finally did it. It's like, no, and walks out. Yes.
No one leaves.
It's
I was
great.
flabbergasted.
It's just Hangman Page going, nah.
Bye. Rolls out the ring.
Oh, God. Sometimes wrestling can be good, and it's so simple.
Yes.
So, we have felt the heat. The heat has been served.
I'll just have a little thing. It's like originally Vader was winning the title, but Michaels said no. He, I think the plan was maybe to postpone it till Survivor Series, but then Michaels got such an huff with Vader, he refused to work with him again. So we had to get Psycho Sid to take his place.
I don't know if it's an upgrade or a downgrade. I think it's definitely a downgrade.
Is there? I mean, we often say people come into WWF who have done well elsewhere and then don't quite make whatever expectations we have of them. And then usually the career just completely peters out and that's it, done. They kind of go to the WWF and then get forgotten about and never happen. It happens again.
Mm-hmm.
Vader's a really weird example because Vader was really, really good in WCW in the early 90s, goes to WWF in the mid-90s and has, a bit shaky.
It's not terrible because he becomes quite a bigger star in '97. He does,
yeah. But he has this moment. This is maybe about the pinnacle, and that in the Fatal 4-Way. Yeah,
yes,
and then not much else beyond that. But then he leaves the WWF as being pretty considered a flop in WWF.
Yeah,
but then becomes amazing in All Japan.
Correct.
And then Noah as well. He goes to Noah as well, does he not?
He does go to Noah. And he also was back in New Japan as well in '96.
Yeah. And it's like, it's weird how Vader, obviously, we often say, is it the ability of the wrestler in question that they just couldn't make it in the WWF, or is it the WWF's booking of them? In this one, we can pretty much guarantee it's the WWF's booking of them.
Oh, God, yeah.
Because Vader had everything going for him otherwise.
Vader comes in a year later with, like, Stone Cold as, like, your top character.
Mm-hmm.
I reckon it would have worked because I think Steve would have worked with him. Like, Austin probably would have, like, he could have dealt with how Vader worked because I think, well, they wrestled together at WCW back in the late 90s? Sorry, the early 90s?
Don't think so.
They would have both been heels, wouldn't they? So maybe not. But I think he would have been like, he would have like known Vader and known what he was about. And I think he could have dealt with that, the kind of stiff Vader side way more than Shawn Michaels could at the time. So if Vader comes in against Stone Cold, I think he would have had a really good run. But he just came in at the wrong time.
Yep. Would you like a quick history lesson of what Vader did post WWF and such? Because I want to see all of this. So he goes back to All Japan in 1998 and enters the World's Strongest Tag Determination League, otherwise known as the World Tag League. So they get to the final and lose. Vader's tag team partner is Stan Hansen. They were defeated by Kenta Kobashi and Jun Akiyama. Inject that into my veins, please.
Wow. That would have been snug.
Well, talking about...
There's a great Kim Justice video that has got like highlights of all the matches and stuff. I think it's on like the separate wrestling channel they do.
Yep.
Yep. Kim Justice is very, very good.
They have just done one about the origin of the Rainmaker.
Ooh,
that's in my to watch list. Yeah.
Yes, I've watched it. It's really fucking good.
I will be checking that out.
And how he looked like an absolute fucking nerd at like I think the Wrestle Kingdom 5 or something like that.
Oh yeah, because he was like a scrawny.
He was a child.
Yeah,
he was a child. Yeah. So believe it or not, Dr. Death was still wrestling in the year 2000 in All Japan.
Yep. Again, having failed in WWF.
Of course, because he's terrible. So he goes to Noah in the year 2000, and his tag team partner there is Too Cold Scorpio.
Obviously.
Yep.
Because,
Is their name the King of the Moonsaults?
I don't even remember what it was called. That would have been great, though. They won the GHC tag titles, beating Jun Akiyama and Nakatoshi Saito. They then lost the titles to Mitsuharu Misawa and Yoshiharu Nogawa. Please, I need that match in my veins right now. Holy fuck.
Jesus, yeah.
That would be wild. Vader never did get the GHC Heavyweight Championship, but he wrestled there up until 2003, where he was still teaming up with Scorpio, but that was the sort of last hurrah as far as titles go. But yeah, so I think going back to Cameron's point, it wasn't Vader was not the issue. It's the shit-tastic booking was the issue.
Yeah.
And again, WCW stank.
Yes.
I'm guessing.
Absolutely agree.
Anyway.
So there's that. So we've come to the I've forgotten my train of thought. Piss. Where's this going on the table? Thank you.
What I've done, I've filtered the table down to the Gund Arena just to kind of give us to focus in on some things.
Okay.
Tremendous.
Right. So to give you an idea where the kind of Gund Arena match sit, the in 10th place we have Invasion 2001.
Okay.
And then in 21st, actually no, that's not this. Oh, look at the wrong thing. You want me? In 8th place, we have WWF No Mercy 1999.
Okay.
And then in 22nd position is WWE Invasion 2001. So we've got one in the top 10, one in the mid-20s. That's where the kind of two Gund Arena matches sit.
I want to say this show goes somewhere in between.
I've always got a soft spot for Invasion.
Yeah, I was going to say Invasion for the pure novelty of it.
Well, let me see if I can filter.
Before the Invasion angle went to shit.
You mean almost immediately?
Well, yeah, but for the initial couple of months, you were like, "Oh, this is really good." Oh my god!
And then they overthought it, as they like to do.
Right, to give you an idea, then with the SummerSlam matches sit we've done.
Okay.
So it's not this side. Number 4 on the pay-per-view list is SummerSlam 2002.
Okay.
Nowhere near as good as that.
No.
Then we drop down to number 25, which is SummerSlam 1993.
Ooh.
And then 29 is SummerSlam 1999. And then number 30 is SummerSlam 1989.
I'm happy to put it above 99. I don't know if I can put it above 93.
I quite like 93.
Yeah, 93 is enjoyable.
So what's between 25
Survivor
and
Series
29?
1988. I would like to put it there.
This is a very scientific process we're doing here. So above SummerSlam 99 is WrestleMania 5.
No, not for me.
Well, not above? We're saying 5's better or above that?
I think 5's better.
I don't know.
I think your main event's better at WrestleMania 5.
I agree.
Yep,
that is true.
Vader.
So is it better than SummerSlam 99?
At no point does Hulk Hogan lose his rag with Macho Man Randy Savage and starts kicking him in the head, telling him to move.
That would have been good.
Imagine how that one would have went down.
So do you think it's better than worse than SummerSlam 99? I think that's the question.
I think it's a tight one. I think it's better in my opinion.
I would be okay either way, to be honest. It's a difficult one.
We'll do 29. We'll slot in 29. So that means there's 3 SummerSlams in a little clump there.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's the SummerSlam section.
SummerSlam 1996 now becomes the 29th best pay-per-view of all time.
Brilliant.
Hooray.
It deserves it.
It does.
Anyway, where's the bus going next and who's driving?
Well, I believe it's my turn.
I think it is.
And I'm actually now I'm re-looking at this pick again. It's very very convenient because we're not going to have to go far away from Cleveland, Ohio.
Oh
no!
Okay.
Next month we are going to the Harrah Arena in Dayton, Ohio.
Wow!
Where Extreme Championship Wrestling is going to bring the heat with Heatwave 1998, a collaboration between ECW and FMW.
Heatwave 98.
Heatwave 1998.
Indeed. I will say this right now. It has a Masato Tanaka and Mike Awesome match in it.
Oh my god.
Violence.
That's going to be so...
Oh my giddy aunt.
That's not really good for anybody, that, is it?
Also, this has an FTW title defense in it.
Oh. Okay.
It does. It's also got the small matter of RVD's Sabu against Hayabusa and Jinsei Shinzaki, just saying.
Oh, is it that one?
Yes.
Oh my god.
Gonna be a good one.
This one's gonna be
violent. Hold on. We get Sunny.
Yes, we do. That's another connection. Sorry.
Oh, joy. Can't wait to see that one again.
He can't escape Sunny.
She's going to pop up every single fucking time.
Well, you did back when you were 15. Anyway,
Whoa.
Oh, well, it was 15. It was, yeah, she was
Enough.
the best. She was the best thing ever. Not now.
Not anymore.
No.
Not anymore. I think I've reached the age, lads, where you fancy Nigella Lawson.
I mean, yes.
Because you would. Just all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, carry on.
Anyway, so next month we're going to have Chaos and Masato Tanaka and Mike Awesome once again defying death, because I don't know how none of those. Well, obviously Mike Awesome is now dead, but at the time,
yes, it's got
these
to be
two.
now.
And I will say Tanaka's still wrestling today. I watched him in a match last week, and he can still go.
Wow.
Who's he wrestling for now?
Noah.
Is he? Oh, okay.
Well, Noah and 01.
Oh, and 01 as well. Okay.
So, but he was in a Noah show recently, and he was fucking brilliant.
Nice.
And I still maintain the sliding D looks like the most brutal, one of the more brutal finishers to take, because it's basically just run off the ropes. I'm just going to lower my elbow into your face.
Yeah. I sometimes find ECW pay-per-views slightly hard to watch because it just seems to be that level of chaos. But this has got seemingly some sort of classic moments from WCW.
I think so. I mean, it does. I think having a Falls Count Anywhere match with Taz and Bam Bam Bigelow is going to be like mayhem.
Is this the one where the aisle breaks?
I think it might be.
Right. Okay.
So, where's the lowest ECW show on the list?
Oh Jesus!
Oh wow!
Hold please.
There's Alan there with like maybe a spoiler about how he's going to view this one. We've got two ECW pay-per-views on there. We've got One Night Stand 2005 is in at number 10,
which is
and Living Dangerously 99 at number 21.
Yep.
Join us next month for probably an argument.
Nice.
Did anybody else watch that press conference with they brought out Cody and stuff?
It's not a press conference; it's a content creation event.
It was,
but yes, I did see the clips.
I had a good time watching it. It was like I watched it live, and it was good. I enjoyed it. But then I think what I was like, I was like, oh, Ethan, you gotta watch this. This was really good. And we were watching the full version of it on YouTube. But there's literally, I think there was an advert every 2 minutes.
Sounds about right.
Like it was just the whole thing was just
as well. It was so fucking frustrating. Yeah.
You couldn't get like more than like it was like mid sentence and all sorts. It just kept dropping adverts in. I guess because they realized because people were watching it because it was everything that was going on. Of
course, we're on the road to Sting finally hanging up the boots. Which, given he's just went batshit crazy of late, it's probably not a bad idea.
Is he fighting Flair?
No, he is fighting the Young Bucks. Believe it or not.
Oh, okay.
Oh, they're the EVPs now, aren't they?
Yes, they are. Their EVP characters are so fucking great because they're not Matt and Nick; they're Nicholas and Matthew Jackson.
They did the thing like was it the York Foundation did like in the WCW when it was like Terrence Taylor.
Yes, it's basically that.
It's basically that, but they're making it good. Yeah. Like when they came out with the white suits and smashed Darby and his Sting and his sons to bits and got themselves covered in blood. It's like that's yes, guys.
And they've been flying around wearing the same white suit stained with blood since.
Yeah, you know how to do wrestling. You're very good at this pro wrestling thing.
Yes, they are. They're very good, regardless of what Jim Cornette might say.
Yes.
So that's a glimpse into the future. But yeah, show next month, I think.
It's going to be good. It's going to be good. I'm looking forward to this.
When is Mania? Will we actually beat Mania?
Euan, if we're doing the one that goes at Easter time, you should have done the one where the Sandman gets crucified.
Oh, that's a missed opportunity, Al. Damn it.
Yes, yep.
Save it for next year.
I forgot about that. So the one time Kurt Angle showed up and went, "This isn't for me, lads."
No, sorry, no.
No, could you imagine if you hadn't done that and Kurt Angle would have signed for ECW? Can you ever imagine that?
I would have probably enjoyed it.
Imagine him in the middle of an ECW arena going on about 3 eyes and intelligence and integrity and intensity and all that kind of stuff.
While he's getting every homophobic chant known to mankind thrown at him.
Chairs. Small children being thrown.
Yes. Cheers as well.
Mania is on April the 6th and 7th.
Oh, why is it 2 nights? Fucking hell.
So they'll have, I think, I don't know, I'm guessing they're going to have the Cody, Rollins, Roman, Rock tag team the first night and then Cody Reigns the next night.
Really? I wouldn't like to see 2 matches back to back, but
don't know. A tag team feel like with Rock going heel and being part of the Bloodline, like, it feels like a tag team match is on the cards at some point.
I think that's probably the best way to make sure Rock doesn't like tear every muscle in his body. Because remember last time he got in the ring, he tore like 4 different muscles.
Yeah, like you say, he needed surgery after the match with Cena, didn't he?
Which delayed Hercules.
Was it Hercules?
I think it was Hercules.
Yeah.
Wow.
And the studio were not happy.
Not really happy.
No.
I mean, like, if The Rock wants to wrestle, fine. Honestly, kind of like, I don't think he should be in like in the main event match because I just don't think he would be able to go. What he needs to do is like when he came back a while ago and he was like backstage just being like a complete dipshit to everybody. That's what he should do.
Technical
term. He was like walking through with like a big grin on his face and he was like ran to the Big Show and was like, "Oh, Big Show! Remember when I found the ring? We both out the ring. Your feet hit the ground first."
That was a great promo. That was.
He was just like just the look on his face.
He's like, you know what? The director watched that match and he told me if you won the Rumble, you would have been a movie star, something like that, isn't it?
Yeah. But he picked me instead. How about that?
That's harsh.
It's such a good, but like he's doing it with this kind of big beaming grin on his face.
Yeah.
It's like so funny.
It's because he knows he's being an absolute shithead.
Yeah. And like I think Big Show's holding the laptop, and he just like snaps it in half because he's so furious.
I mean, fair.
And he's just walking backstage, just doing that to everybody, just like to be like a complete dumbass to people. It's brilliant. I would recommend hunting that one down because it's really good.
I enjoyed it.
I don't know if that's going to make the end of the podcast or not. Who knows?
Well, we're probably playing the music by now and winding down, are we not?
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah. So I'm going to use the. Well, last week we played out with Black Bart's theme because it was some kind of crazy cowboy.
We did. I forgot about that. Yeah,
that's right.
Because it's, I decided if I ever became a gladiator, that'd be my gladiator music.
Nice.
I would have Ice Train's music.
Has anyone seen New Gladiators? Is it any good?
It is. It
It's
is
actually really good.
It's so good. That is like
if you skip the banter, if you just watch the events like I do, I can get through Gladiators in like 20 minutes. It's great.
Yeah.
Who's the referee?
It's not Jim Anderson, which made me sad. But I don't know.
Is it a Premier League referee or just someone who looks like him?
No, it's Mark Clattenburg.
It is. I saw it. And I'm like, is that a Premier League referee? Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
Fucking hell!
Yeah.
Times must be hard if Premier League referees.
Like, there was my favorite bit was I think it's in the third episode. There's the what's it called, Gauntlet, where there's like 4 gladiators in like a YouTube, like a half pipe, and you're trying to get from one end to the other.
Yeah,
and one of the guy comes in and like the guy at the front Steel like holds him, and the referee like
he gets a red
blows
card.
the whistle.
Yeah.
Like, Steel, you're holding, you're disqualified. Sends him out. And then, this poor guy, like all the gladiators, like clearly it's like really annoyed. So the poor guy comes down, gets past 2 of them. The third guy just like hits him with his kind of big blocking post thing, and knocks the guy literally like 6 feet back through the air.
Yeah,
just absolutely smashes him out of his shoes.
It's definitely worth a watch.
It's so there's the one Legend is the favorite of the house.
Oh, Legend, yeah, Matt from Matt Does Fitness.
He's got like a nice. He's like I think Viper's like the bad guy because like
Viper's
the wolf gladiator.
Viper's the wolf character.
Yeah, because he's the one who's like he's always really angry and furious at people for no real reason. Yeah. And like he bit Bradley Walsh's microphone last week when he was trying to get a comment from him after a match. But like Legend just kind of comes out and goes like, "Oh, you didn't catch that guy there? Can you? What happened?" And Legend's like, "Yeah, that light over there was shining in my eyes." Like, that light over there, and it was like I couldn't do it because that light was over there. Can someone get this sorted out, please? Because that light, this should be reran because that light was blinding me. And he's got like a real kind of like dickish vibe to him that I really appreciate. And he comes out to simply the best.
Yes, he does.
All the best things do.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
So yes, Gladiators is thoroughly recommended.
Speaking of gladiators, I went in a weird YouTube rabbit hole the other night. I ended up watching an entire episode of the short-lived ITV game show Scavengers, presented by John Leslie.
I remember Scavengers.
Oh no!
Thank you.
Oh no!
I don't think it's a Channel 4 one. There's like I think it must be. I think it's a Channel 4 one. There's like they've got like laser guns shooting at people. It's like Challenge Annika, but the guy's got a laser gun rather than a helicopter.
Interceptor.
That's the one.
Yeah. So I went from watching an episode of Scavengers to watching the short-lived ITV series Ice Warriors.
Wow.
Like Gladiators on Ice.
Basically, yeah.
Yes.
What's Glacier in it?
And you had, no, sadly not, but you had the sort of like king of the the Warriors, and there's this whole lore. It made my like nerd self happy because I do remember back in the day where Saturday Night TV was not just here's Ant and Dick being cunts. It's like I don't want to watch that. Thank you.
Yeah, because like what's so weird about Gladiators is like they've literally just like taken the show from the 90s and just done it again.
No, they haven't. They've actually changed some things that I'm not very happy about.
They made things like slightly safer, haven't they, I guess.
That I'm fine with. What I'm not happy with is in the Eliminator, the women should be the only ones that have the monkey bars. The men have the hand cycle.
That's the way it used to be.
Thank you. But it's not. They've both got the monkey bars now. That makes me very sad.
Can't discriminate like that anymore, you see.
But monkey bars are universal. That's what it is.
I'm surprised monkey bars aren't deemed racist, but there you go.
And they haven't got the they don't do the atmospheres anymore.
No, I think that was probably a health and safety when they just looked at that and went, we can't do that anymore.
Yeah, the Warrior got knackered with that, yeah.
What's the one? The one where they had like guns, Powerball, whatever. Was it called Powerball? They had like a cannon.
Danger Zone.
That's it, yeah.
Welcome to the Gladiator podcast.
Seriously, I'm there for it because it's like I was like, I think like the trailer came up and I was like, I'll watch specifically with my son because he's like 9. I think I'll see what he's like. But then by then it was like, go on, you bastard, hit him. Go on.
Wow, getting into that.
Fully into it. It was so good. But then like last week there was the quarterfinals and one guy came out and he had like a big like Stone Cold Steve Austin style knee brace because he messed his knee up in his heats.
Oops.
And he's like, oh yeah, sorry, we can't he can't replace. We're going to replace him with somebody else. It wasn't like they replaced him with somebody else who'd already been on. It was like a whole new contestant. I was like, oh, that's rubbish. That's unfair. Surely like one of the other fastest people can come in, but they were like,
no, that was the way they always did it. It was always the backup. So
and there's the backup. It's Mark, and he does this, and he's also a pro wrestler in his spare time. And I was like, let's go! I was like, well in for him. It's like, let's go!
Also, the Travelator's too short.
Is it not the same length?
I think it's too short.
I don't know, man.
Well, my girlfriend says, and I keep telling her it's the same, man.
I'll somehow edit all this chat into the podcast so I can end on the Gladiator theme song.
That one.
Yeah.
Does still use that one or not?
I don't think they even changed it because I know when they did like in 08, was it like 07, 08, Sky did a version and it was like,
we don't talk about that version. It was
exactly
fucking atrocious.
But BBC just went, you know what? It was fine the first time around. It was right. We got it right that there's no need to change it. We'll just do that again. And they just did it again and it works.
It's very funny how it works.
Yeah, it shouldn't work. It should be like it's just like an 80s, not like a 90s, nostalgia knockoff. But it's like as soon as they get into the pugil sticks and they do a close up of their eyes, I'm like, oh, he's gonna fucking batter him. Go on, Giants, hit him.
Yeah.
But then it's like the Gladiators come out and the facts like they have like Gladiator facts and it's like Giant can lift up a washing machine. It's like yes. Nitro can jump over a small car. It's like yes.
Phil, who would this is just for Cameron's benefit. Who would be the jet equivalent for Cameron?
Saber.
Sonny, I reckon. No,
no, not Sonny. Saber.
Saber would be. I think Saber's the one. I think he would be cast in that role.
British game show. Saber.
Gonna get a live reaction right now.
SABERRE.
Yes.
Alright.
Because she's like a cat. Because she like prowls around.
Does she?
Yeah, that'll give you something to think about tonight, Cam.
Well, that's
Do you feel the power of the Gladiator as well, Cameron, mate?
There's a joke about rattling here, guys, but I'm not going to make it.
Cameron.
Sorry, I was just looking at Saber there. Never mind.
Saturday, it's going to be like, he does going to watch Gladiators by himself, if that's all right. He's going to go in the spare room, watch Gladiators.
Good God alive.
Watch it on the iPlayer later.
Yeah, we'll watch it on the iPlayer later. Yeah.
By myself.
We're just doing we're just
in seclusion.
Studying Bradley Walsh here for post Doctor Who careers here.
Jesus.
spider. Gotta breathe the fire of the tiger. Gotta give your all to win. Ready or not, let the challenge begin. Strength for what you need. Gotta take it on the chin. Gotta love it, love to